but they don't really need them. Like,
oh no, I'm allergic to bullets. Get my EpiPen.
Hello and welcome to the Lore Boils, another number one fake history podcast. I'm pretty sure.
Did you say lore boils because I got a big pimple on my face that we were just talking about?
I had written this in more that it was in line with a feral ghoul or
you
something.
You went out of your way to talk to the people who are closest to me to find out that I had a pimple, to write a joke about my pimple? That's so cruel, dude.
Yeah. I have a couple too if it makes you feel better.
I hope that you don't die. Jamie's showing nip, by the way. Double nip.
Right here.
I hope that you don't die, but I hope that you undergo like a nuclear apocalypse and then are turned into some sort of horrible monster as a result and forced to live like that forever.
And then you come back as some kind of like wacky character. I like how everybody who gets turned into a ghoul has a theme. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's all guys who are inside like Mickey. My name's Peter O'Donoghue. Hello. The guys who are inside like the Donald Duck mascot suit had the material melt and fuse to their bones. And now they're like goofy Donald Duck ghoul.
True. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What if weeaboos but into cowboy instead of Hatsune Miku, huh?
True.
That's Ghouls. Yeah.
What if Walton Goggins' character in the Fallout show on Amazon, which is excellent by the way, was Hatsune Miku instead of a cowboy?
I mean,
true.
I haven't seen the show, don't know who Walton Goggins is, but I'm into it.
He's one of that guy, so you will recognize the actor, guaranteed.
I did, yeah. I did.
We're putting the ghoul before the radiation here, though, guys. So we gotta start. My name's James. Who are you guys?
I'm Ethan. Peter already said Peter. Peter, don't say Peter again.
Okay, good.
Thank Pimple, fuck.
Shut up! Don't look at it. I'm getting my camera off.
Speaking of pimple popping, I do have patrons. If
I was going to throw it to you for the patrons. So if you have them, please go ahead.
Let's hear about our latest pimple poppers.
Okay, well, we got pimple popper. Pimple popper. Pimple popper Patrick, welcome. James Ball, and not Chigs. So maybe we can get Chigs later.
Oh, Chigs joined the
Chigs did join the Discord server. I wonder if they know about each other.
Hello, welcome.
Chigs and not Chigs. Thank you for supporting the show.
Don't bring your ops onto the fucking Discord server, man.
And also, if for the people who requested this, if you want to request, you can go discord.gg/loreboys in the lore request channel. And this is where we pull the names from, or at least I pulled the names from for sure. We had Doug, Edgeen's Belt, Don't Tickle Me, Commandant Robin the Big Gay, Defcon, many more. We had many more. There's a lot of people who asked for Fallout. I just took the most recent ones because around the time of the show, we got a lot of asks for it. And with, what was the actor's name again? You just mentioned
Walton Goggins.
Walton Goggins, with his character being a ghoul and being one of the biggest, most iconic characters to look at from the Fallout series, I thought we'd do some Fallout ghoul lore. So like how to be
scary,
how to become a ghoul. The dangers of being a ghoul, what comes with being a ghoul.
What about the benefits of being a ghoul?
There's absolutely benefits.
Longevity, I know, is one of them.
Yeah, they don't die of old age.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess if you guys, as we usually start, if you want to talk about what your background with Fallout is, and maybe let's start with background with Fallout, and then I can ask you what you know about ghouls after that.
Sure, go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I've played I think 5 or 6 of them. So I've played 1, 2, and 3. 3 being my favorite. I'm sorry. I also love New Vegas. And then I've played Fallout 4, which is not my thing. And then I played Fallout 76, which is not controversial to say horrid, because it is on Game Pass. Fucking hated it. I think I might have an hour in that one. But I recently tried, because the show got everybody in the spirit of it. Somebody had bought me New Vegas for my birthday, one of the listeners, at some point. I was like, oh, you've never played it. You should play it. It's fantastic. Not knowing I've actually finished it like 4 or 5 times. I've only finished the DLC once. It just fucking crashes too much, man. I tried so hard, never even made it to go to the first DLC. It just crashed it crashed too many times. And then I was telling Jamie, I think when we were on our way to your place a couple weeks ago, Ethan, where I was like, I love Fallout 4. to death, like top 5 game, and maybe somewhere in the top 10 New Vegas. They're both fantastic games. In the modern era, having been spoiled by controls made for human hands, those games feel like absolute poison to play. You might as well just break all your fingers off. They're so bad, dude.
You play mouse and keyboard?
Yeah.
Yeah. I very much enjoy Fallout games on a controller because it does feel like they were built for a controller. Like the whole VAT system and everything. And like, to me, anytime I get like a story-driven game, I'm like, I want to lean back in my chair and just like enjoy it like that. You know, like I'm still playing it on PC, but I do enjoy a game that I can play
on keyboard and mouse. I love it, man. I can
Fallout
actually
4
like
controls really, really well though. That was like built for human interaction first, and then they layered on a game afterwards. Where Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I don't think had human interaction in mind when they designed the controls and UI.
Yeah, I was thinking Fallout 4, like WASD, Q for VATS, tab for like opening your menu, like everything feels really close together. Good.
C for crouch because I'm insane.
Ooh, that's weird.
And being able to just like aim at things really far away and shoot them in the head with a mouse feels really good too.
No, I mean aiming with a mouse for sure feels better. I always do a VATS build because I just want to experience the game leaned back in my chair rather than sitting forward. When I play a game like that, I specifically am like, oh, I want to just like sit back, enjoy the story. So I'm going to get like a little bit more comfortable. Yeah. I've played exactly 4.2 hours of Fallout 1, apparently. Mm-hmm. Never played Fallout 2, which a lot of people will say is the best one. I honestly... So we've talked a lot about Fallout on the show before, and Pete and I have been made very clear our preference for Fallout 3.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it now. It's been so long since I played. I can't confidently say that it's my favorite one. Like, that might be 100% nostalgia goggles. It was the first Fallout I played, for sure. And I played it a lot back on the Xbox 360. Definitely did love it. But honestly, if I played it now, there's a good chance that I like New Vegas more, because I've probably played more New Vegas than Fallout 3 at this point.
I've played all of them recently. Like Fallout 3, I played within the last year. And as someone who never played Fallout 3 back then, coming to it now, it really, you notice like the technology limitations. Like in New Vegas, you look at something, walk towards it, you can go into it. Same thing with Fallout 4, loading screens aside.
Yeah.
But Fallout 3, it feels like everything's so sectioned off, and like because you can only load like smaller areas,
the loading sections of the world, right?
Yeah, you have to go in and out of the metro.
You're walking through DC, and then suddenly you got to go into the metro to get past.
If you think the technology is limited from 2008, Jamie, boy, do I have some bad fucking news about Starfield for you.
I mean, like, I'm sure I would still, and like what I like about 3 is like so many of the storylines stuck out to me. We've talked a lot about like Bob the Tree and like on the podcast before and everything, right? Yeah. Which comes, well, I don't know if it originally comes from 3, but there's a great storyline.
It's from Fallout 1 and 2. He's in all 3 games.
Yeah, there's at least 3 where he asks you to burn him to death, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's lots of little things like that, which I love, and the DLCs absolutely hold a special place in my heart for those ones. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it when Jamie asked. I said, honestly, I might just have to say, like, I can just remember so much more of New Vegas than I can of like Core 3, not including the DLCs, but like just Core 3. I remember so little of it besides the main quest and like a couple standout missions. Whereas like New Vegas, I remember so many of them, you know? And like
Vegas has way more overall.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I mean.
There's so much more. Like, because I remember thinking how nice it was at Fallout 3 is just like there are like 35 quests. That's everything. They're all multi-stage. They're all well written. Like I remember Riley's Rangers and then the Bob one as well. I don't know what the fuck that's called. The Stradivarius one.
The Kid Town was in 3, right? Or was that in Vegas?
Yeah, the Child Town is part of the main quest, I believe, because you have to get through like the nuclear, the very dangerous nuclear site, and they're like they live underground.
Yeah,
and then obviously you can get the Wazer rifle from Bowie, which is very cute.
Obviously, Megaton, the old millionaire who pays you to blow it up, like that is Tenpenny. Just absolutely seared into my memory. Like that, the first time playing that game, realizing like I could just blow up this town and watch it blow up. Like as a kid was
Wasteland Survival Guide. Right? Speaking of ghouls, Moira survives the detonation of Megaton. You can complete her quest, right?
The Moira quest line is so good too. Just like this, we were talking off mic very briefly about Jamie's recent Fallout 4 build where he plays an idiot savant, and that is just like Moira, who's like an idiot savant scientist who is like coming up with these breakthrough scientific discoveries, all with you like walking over landmines for her as an experiment.
Just through nothing but absolute abject buffoonery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've played 3, New Vegas 4, and 76. And 76, I think I gave it more of a shot than any of the boys. I think I have like 20 hours in it, and I got into questing, I got into grinding, but it didn't. I don't care about settlements that much, and that's kind of a big part of it. I don't really want to build. I just want to explore and shoot and learn about things. But
it's on Game Pass. I know if any of you ever asked me, like, hey man, do you want to drink all day? Like on a rainy day in the summer, it's like, do you want to drink all day and all we're going to do is play Fallout 76? I guarantee we would have a blast and a half and none of us would ever play it again. Right? Like, anyways, I'm absolutely willing to try it again.
Miss me with that MMO shit. We tried it with ESO. I cannot get into it.
Yeah,
what we do, I think it'll be easy for us to fall into things we don't like, and we kind of talked about. We all do.
We're gonna fall into stuff. I thought we were falling out of stuff, man.
I hate falling into stuff.
I hate falling in.
Falling
I want to fall out.
Yeah. All right, let's fall out and back in. Let's say that we all can agree we love the Fallout universe. It's a very cool universe.
Yes.
Also, the band with the boy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we're going to talk about Ghouls today. We're not going to talk really about any specific game. We're just going to talk about Ghouls and their characteristics and stuff. I think if you go back and play some of the older games, like 1 and 2, you can get a lot of Ghoul stuff. Like Necropolis is like a whole Ghoul city that exists in 1, I believe, until the super mutants come and clean it out.
Like it's. I was going to say it's what's left of San Francisco, but it's like in the fiction, San Francisco has improved by the only people left there are no more Hollywood stars, nobody addicted to fentanyl, just living skeletons who eat each other.
Not San Francisco, but Bakersfield. Which if you talk to somebody from California, it's like a meme that like Bakersfield is like the Pittsburgh of California. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But,
so not to be confused with the Pit, which are full of other kinds of monsters.
Yeah.
So for this episode, you could have played from the first game onwards. You could have just watched the show. You could not know anything at all. We're going to be talking about ghouls, which are basically people with the right biology exposed to high levels of the right type and amount of radiation. Gamma radiation is mentioned as one of these right types, but we don't really know. It's mysterious. All 3 of us could be in the same conditions. We could be right, like a blast could happen. We're all the same distance. It's all the same radiation, but our physiology is all different, and one of us could become a ghoul and the other 2 could die.
Wait, are we not identical triplets? I thought our physiology was the same.
It could be. It could be. And then even then, if our physiology was the same, but the radiation and exposure was different, that could lead to
that's what'll get us. That's what'll get us. Okay.
Yeah. Like if you were standing behind me in my lead fillings, that would block out some of the radiation, right?
Right.
Or just the dentist apron that I wear everywhere because I'm terrified of the sun.
Or if I had my back to it and you were performing oral sex on me and I had my lead cod piece on, then you guys would be fine. Just one more reason why you guys should do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listeners, please write in and give more reasons why they should both perform oral sex on me. And by that I mean Jamie and Peter.
Or fewer reasons.
Oh, you need help coming up with reasons why not, huh? You're desperate to.
I'm just trying to crowdsource reasons. None of my ideas have gotten me out of it yet. I need a second pair of eyes on this.
Yeah, the lead fillings was a problem. Then he got the lead cod piece, and he didn't have an excuse anymore.
Yeah, I was like,
well, I've always said you can let a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
It's a brain damaged horse, just kind of like lapping up water.
So yeah, it's still mysterious, especially like the ones who are ghouls, just like out in the wild. People turn into ghouls, not controlled radiation and like measured science radiation. Like the people, it seems random who becomes a ghoul.
Yeah, like in game, you talk to a bunch of ghouls. I mean, the ones that aren't like trying to eat your skin.
There are feral ghouls too. I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. They do drive you crazy, which is explored in the TV show a little bit. Whereas, like some of them are like, oh yeah, there's a couple pre-war ghouls around here. Like being 240 years old is still like, I mean, remarkably hadn't been killed by somebody in that point. But like, there's a couple ghouls you'd be in like Fallout 3. I think in Fallout 4, there's like a Chinese guy stuck in a submarine. He's been there for like 260 years.
Yes,
right?
and it's the slow leak of the
reactor in the sub, right?
Exactly. It was a nuclear sub, and it was just the right amount of radiation to turn him into a ghoul.
The Yangtze, I think he calls it.
I tried to do that quest, but it was like they had a bunch of lead ups to it. I was like, I'll do the quest before the show, but it was a pain in the ass to get.
Okay,
to, so
I remember that one from Fallout 4. Fallout 4 has a lot of quests. I remember very few, unlike which is different than Fallout 3 in New Vegas. But I remember the Yangtze, and then obviously the robots and the pirate ship is a fucking S tier quest, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good quests in that game for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. In Fallout 4, very enjoyable that one.
Fallout fun. Radiation for most people, very not fun. Most people die a horrifying death with like hemorrhaging, necrosis, all this bad stuff.
They can't give you painkillers because your blood vessels separate from like the thing that holds them together, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Doesn't work. Yeah. Watch Chernobyl if you want to know more about why you shouldn't try to ghoulify yourself.
Yeah. So ghouls themselves survive, but they suffer the same effects. But they develop a mutation that causes superpowered regeneration of their bodies. And once we're going to get into the regeneration, like the technical side of it, they do have a pretty good explanation for this in a little bit. But they are able to survive radiation that would kill normal humans. It also gives them their freaky appearance. So the damage, like if you look at the main character in the Fallout show, our cowboy without a nose, you can tell that. Yeah,
I feel like the appearance is inspired by like actual radiation sickness, right? Which is like, you do kind of get like leprosy symptoms where like your flesh just kind of sloughs off your muscle, you know.
Flaking, honestly, skin, damaged connective tissue, loss of nose and ears are really big ones.
Like I know Bob or whatever, who I guess we're going to talk about, is a ghoul for a different reason.
He specifically said we're not going to talk about any specific ghouls, so I don't know why we're going to talk about.
If you want to, you want to talk about him, you can. Yeah.
Bob the tree guy from Fallout 1, 2, and 3 is an FEV mutant, which we have talked about. He's not a radiation ghoul. And then the ghouls in Fallout 4 in the show are a little less fucked up looking than the ghouls in Fallout 3 in Vegas, which I'll pull a picture of.
It could be due to different levels of radiation too, like because they take place in very different places.
I don't want to do behind the scenes. It straight up is just a change in art style, actually.
Yeah, or like that actor's contract says that he can't appear as like such a deformed person, you know. Like,
exactly.
The manager would have argued to make the character look as much like the actor as possible, right? Like that's what the manager's there to do. So there's a whole bunch of things that would determine that.
Yeah, we could do that about any game that we talk about. But if we went to like
any game that has a TV adaptation, I think. But
no, what Peter's saying is a different art between Fallout 3 and 4.
It is because
sorry, I thought you were saying between the show. Sorry.
No, because the ghouls in Fallout 3 actually look like they have radiation poisoning where their flesh is falling off their bones. Where, like, even in game, like if you look at the Chinese guy below Walton Goggins or the kind of patriot looking guy with the tricorn hat,
you're
subscribe to our Patreon.
That's how Pete's really sounds like. You just heard his real voice.
Pete let's everyone spam some Cat Peter, some Kitty Pete stickers in the Discord whenever you listen to this. So
he's literally a war boy.
Well,
he's
a war boy.
He's the worst war boy.
They look kind of just raisiny, other than burned and suffering.
Canonically, like different art styles between games, like in the show they might have different contracts, but canonically the reason that they look different is it's the exposure to radiation, because you can become a ghoul like if you survived the blast. You could also become a ghoul if you're just trickling radiation into your sub. You could become a ghoul just from walking out too long in radiated areas. So someone, if they look real fucked up, canonically they took a lot more damage in the explosion or more radiation. And if they look more human, it's probably because they had more of a slow controlled leak of radiation. So
that must be at 5 million.
Yeah,
you need to be just the right distance from the nuclear blast, the Goldilocks zone for fucked up raisin people. You know?
Yeah, exactly. The California raisins in NCR.
Put them on the flag, would you? Come on, do this two-headed bear.
Yeah. Yeah, so like some like the people who are really messed up, you can see exposed bone, they'll have like asymmetric faces, sometimes like even like tumors and things like that, rotting what looks like rotting wounds, but they're not actually alive. So yeah, and the transformation, it can take a lot of it could take hours for some people if you're really cranking up that heat, turning on the tanning bed to max radiation. Or it can take as long as a year for people who are taking more of a slow drip.
Okay.
I rip the Band-Aid off if it's gonna happen to me, right? Rip the Band-Aid being my nose right off. You know. I am stuck on Ethan's face because Ethan's face stuck on me. That's my nose singing that song.
Oh, I thought it was your pimple.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, got him.
It is absolutely stuck there. I've been trying to peel it off all day. For the listeners at home, I am deformed. It is just like a massive blotch that I've been playing with all day.
Stop playing with it.
I had to go to a bunch of work meetings today and just like couldn't stop thinking about it. But I'm gonna keep touching it.
It's starting, man. You should just jump in the reactor now. Honestly,
right? Honestly, if there was one close to me, maybe I would.
Yeah,
maybe because that's how the Joker got his start too, right?
Yep.
In one of the Joker movies.
In a reactor?
I don't know. The Jared Leto one, he jumped into a pool of green stuff. I assume that's radiation.
Okay.
Fair. I don't know much about that. But what I do know is that ghouls, doesn't matter what age you are. You could be, we've seen as early as a preteen become a ghoul who doesn't even know what it's like to really be a human.
Radiation doesn't care about consent.
No. And it'll go for an old person too. So you get to live forever with the aches and pains of being old.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. Well, you don't
instead of just living forever with the aches and pain of being an irradiated monster. the social aches and pains.
They feel things differently than us too. So I don't know how much aches and pains there are, but it's up to debate.
It's like a lobster. It's like you can boil a ghoul; they can't feel pain. It's like yes, we can. It's like see, they can't even communicate it.
Although some ghouls were born before the war, the majority of the ghouls were created like by the Fallout. I said it, the game. But basically, the Great War happened. They dropped a bunch of bombs, and most of them happened after the bombs had dropped, kind of thing. There's a few that lived before that still are alive, but most of them have either gone feral or died. There are ways to die as a ghoul. And the biggest one is going feral.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty easy to shoot them. Actually,
yeah,
you can blow some of them up in using a nuclear device in the town of Megaton at the beginning of Fallout 3.
Yeah,
yep.
My favorite one. There's a side quest where you underneath Tenpenny Tower, where you need to go and see some ghouls who are just like, "Listen, man, we're not crazy. We just want to stay in the hotel." And I'm obviously working for Tenpenny because he was like, instead of sleeping in the dirt, I will give you $1,000 and a hotel room to live in forever. And I was like, cool, sold, buddy. Yeah. Let's go. I remember
it's the end of the fucking world. Of course, I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. I remember going into the hideout for the ghoul who's part of the quest. I put 2 mines at the foot of his bed, like landmines, and they don't. Before you get an enemy, they won't
you meant
go
like
off.
Gold mines or something.
No.
Okay.
Just 2 landmines, and then I just turned around. I shot his girlfriend straight in the head, which woke him up and aggroed him. 2 feet off the bed, just blew both his legs clean off, and I was just like, "It's a job well done."
I keep thinking
$1,000 will get you, baby.
I keep thinking of that song from Fallout 4 where it starts off saying, "Girls, girls. If that's a man, it's a plan." But at the beginning, instead of girls, you go ghouls. But I was humming that in my head the whole time I was writing it. This is from the game. I'm not sure if it's 3 or New Vegas, but you guys might remember this. But this is a place where we learn a lot about ghouls. It's in Camp Searchlight. It's an example of people who became ghouls after the war.
It's New Vegas, I think.
Yeah. Okay. There's an attack that resulted in the town that blanketed the town with intense radiation, and it turned a lot of NCR troopers into ghouls there. And Camp Searchlight showed us the role of trauma in the effects of transformation. People can have mental breakdowns. they can stop thinking as well as they could before, and they can even become feral. And once you become feral, they just want to kill everything around them. They're all very hungry, and they're considered dead rather than undead. They're past. They're not even people anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is New Vegas. I don't remember this at all, but it sounds very cool.
Yep. So Camp Searchlight, that's something you can find in New Vegas if you like, and talk to a bunch of NCR folks who became feral and watch them break down. In contrast, controlled mutation can give a much better survival rate. So you can control how much you're taking in, and it'll still damage your appearance. It won't trigger you going feral right away. And some people might expose themselves to controlled radiation to gain immortality through science and stuff. So if you had a powerful politician or something, maybe the head of Vault Tech or something might want to stay alive for a lot longer, right? So they might turn themselves into a ghoul to see their plans play out.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to get into the Necropolis, right?
No, you can talk about it.
Oh, yeah, because I think Necropolis is like a city of ghouls because the Vault Tech scam was that the door was not supposed to close properly, and it was supposed to like just leak radiation the entire time, which is why the Necropolis is ghouls now.
I have it open. That's exactly right, Pete. The Vault's true purpose, however, was to study the effects of radiation on the residents to ensure this Vault Tech designed the Vault door to not close.
And spoilers for Fallout 1, the super mutants.
A 90-year-old game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The spoilers, so the ghoul, like the super mutants who have the FEV thing that makes them just super jacked, they go over to find what they think is an unopened vault to get all the goodies out of it, and they arrive and it's just all ghouls. Oops, all ghouls.
Oops, all ghouls.
Yeah, okay.
And the vault's open and there's nothing valuable, so they just clear out the fucking town.
Boy,
and then you, as the main character, clear out the super mutants. Everyone gets to die. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boy, we keep talking about Batman villains. Oh, Oops, all ghouls, the brother of Ra's al Ghul.
What color goo did he jump into to become an immortal karate god?
Brown.
Okay.
It sucked compared to the Joker's green goo. It sucked.
So, Ethan, I guess this is the reason why you wouldn't want to rip off your nose like a Band-Aid. Because if you did rip off your nose like a Band-Aid and went full radiation, higher risk of going feral. But if you just kind of let the slow drip come in, you'll keep your wits about you.
Okay, so most feral ghouls, feral girls, most feral girls turn quickly. I guess that's never like a 1 year process or
one white claw. They're fine. Absolutely.
1 year process.
Every single ghoul is in the process of turning feral and fighting against it.
Okay,
so you could turn feral at any moment down the line, and it comes up in the show. In the show,
it's the planeswalker spark of for ghouls.
It's ghoul puberty.
Yeah. In the show, they explain it away with a medicine. Like they show like a ghoul who's like, "Come on, man, I really need a hit. I'm going crazy." And then like the main cowboy is like, "Sorry, I don't got any," but he has a whole bunch in his pocket because he needs himself to not go crazy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I did a bunch of looking online at what this
methadone.
is. Yeah. And I did a bunch of looking online on what this is, and there seems to be like a correlation with like how much rads you're taking with like also turning feral. So they think it's Radaway that the show is using as like they're popping Radaway so they don't let their internal radiation get too high to turn feral.
Okay.
But it's also stated in the games that Radaway has no effect on ghouls, so that's a mismatch.
Yeah, ghouls are also like immune to radiation, right? So Radaway wouldn't,
it heals them.
Have the game effect for them.
So ghouls are immune to radiation; they can walk through it, but it makes the risk higher for going feral, is what they say in the wiki, anyways. So.
Okay.
But I guess as a ghoul in the game, you don't have to worry about it. And people who get real radiated, they turn into what's known as a glowing one.
Yeah, true. Who are like the shaman ghouls that you fight in game.
Yeah. They have like an AoE explosion where they can throw.
They can cast spells.
Yeah, they get so radiated they have radiation powers. Yeah,
they had their planeswalker puberty.
Yeah.
They're Goulberty.
That's the part that the HBO show Chernobyl was afraid to show you. Was when all those firefighters died, they came back as zombie shamans.
Yeah.
Which the USSR has been hiding for years.
Yeah. I don't think they're all shamans, but I do know who you're talking about. There's especially one glowing guy in a place in Fallout 4 who is like he pretends to be a prophet for a religion, and the radiation is God, basically. And
I wasn't thinking of him, but that is. I wish I was, because that's a better person to call a shaman. I was just saying, like, they can cast AOE spells. Like, they have spell casting is more what I meant by shaman.
Okay.
And they're not a wizard because they're not learned. They're feral.
There's also another spiritual leader, I think, in 3
Vegas,
or in Vegas, who they're trying to go to space.
Jacob Bright, yeah.
Jacob Bright. He's a glowing one, and
another
he's trying
great
to take
side quest in New Vegas, man.
Yeah.
you get to make the choice to send these ghouls to space or not, and it's just it's so good.
Yeah, I did that one in my last.
Of course you do, and it doesn't go well for them. They're going to the moon. It's like, what are you doing, guys? You're not. There's nothing for you there.
They don't make it.
So that's kind of how human ghouls. We're going to talk more about the advantages, disadvantages, specifics about human ghouls after the break. But before the break, I want to talk about non-human ghouls. So it can happen to even animals.
Really?
Animals.
Yeah.
Oh, there's glowing mole rats.
Yeah. So animal ghouls, they have all the disadvantages and advantages as the humans do. So they have like rapid hair loss, skin falling apart.
All advantages. Okay, what are the disadvantages though?
Glaucoma of the glaucoma of the eyes. I don't know.
Yeah. You get you get prescription weed if you get glaucoma. So that's
I was just gonna say that's a great advantage. Like all those fucking rats get free weed now.
Yeah. Elongated lifespans, upset stomach, diarrhea. Not that one I just threw in, like Pepto-Bismol, but as well as transforming into.
Sorry, I'm looking up glaucoma right now. I'm in the weeds here.
And they can even turn into glowing ones, so you can get like the glowing mole rats.
The glowing mole rats, I remember. Yeah.
So you can find them anywhere in post-war America, from New California, East Coast. There's a few like notable ones from the game. Ruzka is a circus bear that's in the Point Lookout area. There's Beast of Beckley, which is a legendary wolf known to roam Appalachia.
Which would be 76, right? Is in Appalachia?
Yeah.
Point Lookout is Fallout 3.
Yep.
I don't remember finding that thing.
Point Lookout also has the purported oldest ghoul, Desmond Lockhart.
Nice.
Thought to be 250 years old.
I was going to guess 250, yeah.
There you go.
They're all about like
is fan-fucking-tastic.
The pre-war ghouls are like
for 3, I think.
Yeah, rare. Like it's rare that there's someone who lived that long and not had gone feral in 250 years. Like
I was just thinking in the post-apocalypse, it's long for someone to go that long and not get shot in the head for $2.
Dead generally, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's a Brit, I'm pretty, if I recall correctly, so it's just that like stiff upper lip survived the bombing.
He's the one who owns the mansion. He's the guy who hires you, right?
Yeah. I'm going off memory. I see a picture of him, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's
so funny. You're like, British guy with stiff upper lip. I pull up a picture, he just doesn't have a lip.
Yeah, stiff no lip. Stiff no upper lip. I just want to say I have been on the Ghoul fandom page because I can't help myself whenever you're talking to not Google the cool stuff that you're talking about.
It's your Subway Surfers. It's your
my
stimulation.
Script is heavily based on the Ghoul wiki page. So if you're jumping ahead of what we talked about, it'll.
I don't think I'm ahead, but I found the great glowing one. Are you going to talk about? You said no specific Ghoul, so I clicked on it, and it's formerly known as Sister Dawn. Sister Dawn is a giant glowing ghoul wandering the glowing sea in Winter of Adam. I was like, what is this from? It's from the Fallout role-playing game. We should really do another podcast where we have a tabletop RPG live cast where we play the Fallout role-playing game.
I have more lore on that because I watched a video about it.
The Sister Dawn, the great glowing one, or just the role-playing game?
The great glowing one, but not specifically Sister Dawn. There was a programmer in the game, and there's an unused asset of a giant glowing one to walk around in either 3 or New Vegas.
Okay,
and it never made the cut for the game, but the guy who made the character really loved it, so I guess it made it into the role.
Yeah, it made it into the role playing game. That's super fun. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So that was cut content from an old game. So we have a roaming alpha mongrels is probably one that you've seen a lot. You'll pick up their their collars of the alpha mongrels when they run at you. That's basically an old dog that just got all mutated.
No, poor thing.
Yeah, it's like ice behind me. Well, actually, she could live forever. Maybe we'll do it.
I guess Yao Guais are they also
bears
irradiated? They're just irradiated. I know they're bears, but are they like irradiated? Is it the same process? Okay.
Yeah. If there's a circus bear in Point Lookout, it's definitely a reused model of a Yao Guai. It's like a boss Yao Guai, certainly. I'd say Lord Boys can at the very least.
It's boss as hell, dude. So
boss
fucking
hog.
Cool.
I'll tell you,
is an irradiated Southerner. Out to get them Duke brothers.
Yeah, that's why you need the lead hog that Ethan has, so you don't get irradiated.
They don't call me Ethan Lead Hog Palmer for nothing.
Yeah. So species that we know can experience ghoulification. We got beavers. That's a good Canadian one.
Okay.
Your lead hog be real good with a radioactive beaver, dude.
I don't know if all of
you
these
see them in game beavers. Oh, 76.
I don't know specifically. Okay.
This is the same thing. We do these episodes, like you do the ESO episodes. I'm like, man, all this sounds so cool. I want to meet an irradiated beaver, but then I would play the game and I would just hate it. I would not hate it. I would not have fun playing it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
this is
there's black and brown bears. So the Yaguais. We don't ever meet one, but you can talk to people who like say there. I even heard there's whale ghouls out there.
Ooh. That'd be so fucking cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I accidentally typed Yowie Guai when I was looking up Yao Guai. Yowie is a gay in hentai terms, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, never mind.
Came up with some interesting search results.
That would be like gay ghosts, wouldn't it? Because Yao Guai is something ghost.
It's a collectible in South Park, A Fractured Butthole. You collect pictures of the boys at school making out with each other, and it's Yagua, or like holding each other and stuff like that.
Okay,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I know Guai is ghost.
Yaoi is gay. Yuri is lesbian. That's
okay.
Yuri on Ice is. I'm pretty sure lesbian.
All those Russian politicians.
No, I've never looked this up or seen this, but pretty sure.
This is the first time I've Googled Yowie Guai. Okay. It was an accident.
I've Googled Yowie plenty. It's the Yuri stuff that I don't know about.
Oh, yeah.
There's even gorillas or ghoulilas.
Ghoulilas.
Amazing.
They call it that.
One thing that's really cool about 76, which Ethan and I have similar feelings to you, is they put a bunch of fucking cryptids in it, too. Like, you can fight the Mothman, because it's like an Appalachian.
Yeah, an Appalachia.
Cryptid monster, and it's such a good idea, dude.
That's fun. Just having, like, such free reign, like Fallout 76 and ESO, having such free reign with this world, and obviously having the backing of Bethesda. I think one thing that Bethesda did well, like they outsourced the development, but like they do so well in supporting the lore and like making sure that clearly get it right. Like they do such a good job with it. It really, like, of all MMOs, if I ever play an MMO again, it will be WoW, because it's familiar to me, and like that's the one that I will drift back to if I ever did. But man, they do a good job with the lore of making me want to play these games and experience these things, like fighting the Mothman in the Fallout. Sounds so fun.
ESO is really good for that. Fallout, honestly, 76, I didn't hate it as much. Like I would play more if I was like, oh, I want to go see the Mothman. Or something.
If they've implemented a way to just be a guy who wanders around and fights the Mothman, I'm down to just do the main fucking quest. Right? It's all free through Game Pass for me anyway. It's just sitting there. Anyway.
We're like not even a third of the way through the animals. So we got vicious dogs and mongrels. We know rabbits, rad stags.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
they're deer.
Rad gulls, rad rats. This is cut content, but they were gonna do ghoul super mutant, so where you get the FEV virus, then also you get ghoulification through radiation.
Okay,
JB, buddy, I don't want to cut you off again. Stop hitting your desk because it's just making your mic go like sounding
thank
off.
You
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot in the last 5 minutes.
Sorry. I'm giving myself a speech. I'm trying to keep your guys' attention.
Excited about it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's like whenever we went on 3 tangents on a 10-word list, I'm like, I'm trying to
talk about gay hentai. Okay, I don't know what your problem is. You said we could tangent at the start of the episode.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm doing my best to keep your attention on that. That was my attempt.
You're doing a good job. I appreciate these very good hand gestures. Instead, he's giving us the OK symbol with 2 hands now.
And then the Trump dance.
Yeah. Rad rats, super mutants, like I said, sheep squatch, which I never ran into.
That's 76 too for sure, right?
Gotta be.
Squirrels and wolves, last two.
That's what you did your little Trump jack off dance for? Was fucking sheep squatch?
Squirrels and wolves.
It wasn't that important.
You say that, but sheep squatch, I just pasted a picture of it. Straight up a Witcher 3 monster that you would hunt for sure. It's very cool.
Oh,
looking.
yes. This is just a it's not the
It's a vampire, it's an Ekimara or whatever.
Yeah, no, there's there is like the thing with the sheep's horns, it's got that like mind control third eye in its forehead.
I don't remember.
A fiend. It's a fiend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. So those are all the different animals. If you guys had any more comments, we could talk about it now, or if you have anything you want to talk about. But otherwise, I think we'll hop into the break. What do you think?
Sure.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm awkward about it now. You told me not to. I was going to do a great David Attenborough bit about the animals, but
I would love it if you did. I want to give you guys the space to enjoy this. But if not, you know what? We'll go to the break where I'm going to yell at them for talking.
I'll psych myself. I'll psych myself up. We'll come back in with a David Attenborough. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. All right. Bye, guys. See you soon.
Due to a mutation within the autonomic nervous system following exposure to gamma radiation in specific combinations, technically ionizing radiation with wavelengths below 10 picometers, the normal process of decay in the neurotransmitters along the spinal cord is disrupted. This is how you get Daddy Goat Monster who you want to fuck.
Thank you, Mr. Attenborough. That was a quote from the wiki, or actually a quote from David Attenborough on...
sorry, that was Richard Attenborough, who at the beginning of Jurassic Park says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park." That was David Attenborough's brother. We couldn't afford the real deal. Dave. Well, Davey, as you call him.
No, we got a cameo from a dead guy.
Yeah, instead. It's cheaper.
For the Ghoul episode.
For the Ghoul, yeah.
For the Ghoul episode.
If anybody wants us to get a cameo for George Santos on the Lore Boys anniversary, that would be very funny, by the way.
This is Pete's way of saying he wants to get a cameo from George Santos.
I do. He's my favorite ex-senator.
So, yeah, that was fancy talk for why they have an extended lifespan. Basically, their nervous system can regenerate itself, and it never fully breaks down. So, like, for us, if you get nerve damage, I don't really think that heals on people. Maybe it heals in like certain ways. Like there's other nerves that'll step up for the damaged ones or something. But like our nervous system, when it's gone, it's pretty much
sort of
gone.
T-shirt that has like a neuron on it that says, "I'm not the, I'm not the nerve that stepped up. I'm not the step nerve. I'm the nerve that stepped up."
That's pretty good.
Like if you become paralyzed, you can't fix your spinal cord, you know?
If you become paralyzed, you can smell and hear way better, I think, or whatever it is, whatever the senses are.
You talk in Braille, yeah.
That's a pretty good T-shirt, Pete. I don't know if that's as good as a T-shirt that says "Big Frog Come" in Comic Sans, but it's a pretty good T-shirt.
It's on the list.
Check out the Lore Boys Teespring, TeePublic, whatever fucking site we're using.
It's linked below.
There's linked somewhere, I think.
So yeah, this means their nervous system helps them regenerate to a point. If they cut off a finger, you can sew the finger back on and it will heal back on. If you get shot in the shoulder and it's not a fatal wound, it will eventually heal. Maybe you're going to have a little flappy skin or something, but you'll be able to use your arm again.
Okay.
On the subject of aging, I want to just give a little animal factoid that I learned recently. The people always say that like ghouls, lobsters live forever. Right?
Sure. I mean, they always die.
I was gonna say it's obviously untrue. That's the animal's far too complex to live forever. They just don't show signs of aging. Basically, that's why they just keep getting bigger. But they do die after like 20, 30 years if they aren't buttered up and eaten.
Mole rats don't get cancer.
They can definitely live longer than that. It's these things don't get cancer either. Their dying of old age is different than our dying of old age, where their dying of old age is their shell just eventually, like after so many molts, just gets too hard for them to molt out of, and they just like compress themselves to death trying to break out of their own shell.
Interesting.
Or they get so big and tasty that something just scoops them up and eats them. They can't hide no more.
Can you imagine whale milk butter? How good that would be. It's like it's like 114% fat.
It's more fat than anything. Like it's extra fat.
It's a guy walking by with a lantern and just like grabs your whale milk butter and pours it in so you can keep going.
Lobster sucks. That's what I was going to say. That is peasant food. It doesn't belong. It's not fit for royal mouths like mine.
When I was young, didn't like it. Right now, though, as an adult, I fuck with a lobster roll hard. Love that shit.
Shrimp rules. Lobster sucks.
Shrimp is better. I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Yep. So yeah, this mutation gives them an extended lifespan as well. Like this is their nervous system always regenerating. The body around it is what makes them live forever. And that their nervous system also regenerates, like because ours won't. If our brain's not talking to our heart, we die, right? Like, so we need our nervous system.
What if it's just a little argument?
Yeah. yeah, but she doesn't even have a job, and she doesn't want to do anything. But I love her. It's like she's bad for you. She doesn't even like you.
Yeah. What if my heart and brain just draw a line down the apartment that is my body? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're pumping your blood into me.
Quadriplegic, but it's just the four limbs on my right side instead of the four limbs on my left side.
Because you're a lobster.
Ghouls, they're considered functionally immortal, but like the lobster we're talking about,
like I'm a functional alcoholic. Sure, buddy.
I mean, I guess if being a functional alcoholic means if you never talk to anyone else, it'll never be a problem. Like a ghoul,
I feel like you're hitting that nail on the head here. No,
yeah, you know,
if no one finds out, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna enjoy this beer that I just opened on a Monday night.
Yeah, I guess like what I'm trying to say is like a ghoul in isolation would live forever if they had all the things they needed to live, like food and water. Because they do need that. But they're usually killed in violence or in accidents, or they become feral, which all three can happen. Yeah, and then they're killed.
I guess a feral ghoul, if not killed, would live forever, right? Like they don't age, so they just be feral forever. And there's probably more of them in the new United States, that is the post-apocalypse United States, than people, right?
I started a quest. I didn't finish, so there's no spoilers for Fallout 4. Whatever, but you have to go to Vault 78 or 76, or no, not 76, 78. I think it's one of the DLCs. But it's the DLC where you go to the vault and you go in there and it's been completely barricaded off, and there's just a scientist who's in there, and she's a ghoul. And all of her assistants and all the other people in the vault have become feral ghouls. So you go in and she's like, they've been useful up until this point with my science, but now that you're here, you can kill them all. So you kill all the feral ghouls. And they've just been living without basically much sustenance. I think a feral ghoul could still die if they didn't eat or drink, but there's ways around that too. They kind of have like this hibernation thing they can do. And we're going to talk about 4 specific ghouls that lasted the test of time without food and water soon.
Yeah, I think that only turned into like a dusty mummy or something, if I recall. Or maybe I just dreamt that. I know that ghouls, I don't know if they can smell, because you just get a ghoul mask in Fallout 3 and they won't attack you. It just
they can barely taste or smell, which is why they're fine with eating even each other. Yeah.
And presumably they'd be fine drinking their own urine. As Bear Grylls taught us, you can live forever as long as you can stomach the taste of urine.
Yeah, yep. If you wear Bear Grylls mask, they won't attack you.
Bear Grylls doesn't get attacked by feral ghouls, and many suspect is a feral ghoul himself.
I think so.
Yeah. What about Yagwai Grills? And it's Bear Grylls.
Oh, that's true. It would be
Yagwai
Grills. So ghouls, they're pretty much immortal. They still have normal minds, like our minds. They can think like humans. They don't have like any superpowers in terms of their mind, but they're long lifespan allows them to surpass a human in skills and things just through raw experience. Like if a ghoul used to be a marine and now they're been a bounty hunter for 200 years, they're going to be a pretty fucking good bounty hunter.
Yeah. Even if they were accountant, even if they were accountant on being an accountant, and then we're a bounty hunter for 200 years, they'd still be like a better bounty hunter than anyone else. Like experience.
We could be. Yeah.
And that's
the
like
longest I've ever had a job is 7 years or something. So.
Somebody posted a meme in the Lore Boys Discord, discord.gg/loreboys at some point of, it's the Steve Buscemi, how do you do fellow kids? But it's the 7,000-year-old Elrond talking to the Fellowship, which is all like between the ages of 80 and 160.
Yeah, like Frodo's like 65.
Yeah. So yeah, like I mentioned, they have supercharged regeneration, so they can heal even really complicated wounds, such as even maybe a crushed foot, for example.
Oh, ow! Sorry, cat's attacking me.
They they can even survive lethal injuries like an arrow to the neck, as long as it didn't hit the spine too badly. As long as it didn't fuck up the nervous system completely, it'll just come back.
It's the Axolotl from Dune.
Yep.
Yeah. And as long as they don't get an arrow to the knee, huh? Whoa! Oh, that's a guy with the references. I tell you,
relevant Bethesda humor.
Yep. Radiation exposure makes the regen go faster rather than slower.
Yeah.
They can use stim packs. If you've only watched the show, that's the needle that they hit themselves with to heal themselves. But
it's the EpiPens you carry.
Yeah. But they don't really need them. Like,
oh no, I'm allergic to bullets. Get my EpiPen.
I've got lead poisoning. Yeah.
Too much time with Ethan's dog.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So you can hit them with the stim pack if you want, if they're in a rush or something. But most of the time, I'll just sew my fingers on when I get home. No biggie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But they don't have the little square that you can pull out of a smoke detector handy. You can toss them a stim pack.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever notice the atomic symbol on those things?
I have no idea what you're talking about. The little square in a smoke detector. So
no, I have one right here that I took off my wall. We can take a look at together later.
I ripped all mine out to sell the copper.
Yeah,
that's also good. That's way better.
Yeah, someone took your very old AC. I finally threw out the AC from the 80s that I got from the barn at your place, and someone took it. So
I want to say that was Pete's old AC that he gave to my ex-girlfriend 15 years ago.
No, she gave it to me.
AC. My current in use AC is still that old girl.
That one, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But the one before her dad's, but she gave it to me. She was like, "It's too heavy for me to get rid of. If you buy me a bottle of wine, you can have an air conditioner." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!" Yeah. And then I gave it to Jibo when I bought the new one.
Gosh.
Yeah, when you moved in here, I think we grabbed it from the barn. It was like this big dusty thing.
The barn is that's enemy of the show, Matt Markham's. Then.
Okay, nice. I got it.
Not that he's a particular enemy, just that I feel like our show needs it. We got a lot of friends of the show. We need more enemies of the show.
That's true. I mean? Yeah. Friend of the show, like we have like Ronald Reagan posthumously, or like as a. It's like when they like sanctify somebody after they've died. You can baptize dead people into the church.
So yeah, they can regen. They don't need stim packs. Can use them if they want. In theory, a ghoul can survive anywhere, which in the first game, there's a villain Set, named Set. I posted a picture of him. It's the first ghoul that I posted like back at 6:57 p.m. there.
Okay, that's fun. So again, I've played 4 hours of Fallout 1. I haven't gotten that far, but it's fun that the city of Necropolis presumably has a villain, a ghoul villain named after an Egyptian god, because Necropolis is Greek. Never mind. Well, I guess there's a lot of getting around between the Greeks and the Egyptians back in the day.
Yeah, the Ptolemaic dynasty was not local to Egypt, right?
Well, bad guy Set just thinks, well, if ghouls could last everywhere, it's the next step in human evolution. We live forever. We can outlast everywhere. Everybody should be a ghoul, and that's Set's whole thing. And you can deal with that in the old games if you'd like.
It's kind of hard to argue with them.
In the blasted wasteland, he is right.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine, like if this were an option for real humans now, like most 70 to 70, 80, 90-year-olds would like go the ghoul route for sure.
Yeah.
You know what
Don't
I mean?
give Mitch McConnell any fucking ideas.
No,
we don't know much about it, but maybe you'd want to go earlier because like
you would want to for sure. But I'm saying like the bare minimum, like people who said like, no, I will never turn ghoul, and they're like staunchly, red pilled, and they're like, I'd never do that. I'm too American to do it. And then they would get to the end of their life, face their own mortality, and say, well, no, the ghouls aren't so bad. Maybe I'll just try it. Like and not like.
I wonder what the optimal time was if you wanted to enjoy your life as a human and then switch to ghoul. It's like right when you would go to retirement, you're like, wait a second, I don't have enough money now.
24 to 35.
Like, what do you mean I gotta keep working?
Yeah. For men, 24 to 35, ghoulify me, because that's like it's before you start getting sore, but you can still get strong. But like
you'd want to also enjoy like probably your penis before it falls off, right? Like
assuming it falls off. What is it? Just like it looks exactly like the nose hole down there.
I've never seen a ghoul have sex in the game. Do ghouls have sex? YouTube.
Hey,
I guarantee they're sterile.
They'll have sex.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely sterile.
I think how much? Be honest. How much mileage you getting out of that thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe would you want your like kids to grow up too? Do you want to raise your kids as a ghoul?
I mean, that's what I was.
They're sterile.
Say,
you
like,
would need.
I'm a family man. It's different, I think, for me than for you two. Where I'm like, well, I got a lot of slang and dong to do left in me. Like, well, I got a beautiful child to raise.
You who's been woken up at 4 every day for the past 18 months. Just like honestly, if my penis fell off, that sounds great.
An easy out. That's an easy
out. Yeah, so I mentioned like they can sew their body parts back on, maybe their penis. But something that's important and that's interesting is ghoul organs, almost like stem cells, might even be compatible with regular humans. And due to the regeneration, some people capture ghouls, slaughter them, get their organs, and put them in people.
Oh, you can get like a ghoul graft.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
Ghoul adrenochrome.
Don't give Mitch McConnell any fucking ideas. He's listening.
They're in this basement of this pizza parlor, okay? You get it? And they're grabbing all the 200-year-olds that they can find and just harvesting them.
I got to check if there's a pizza shop because it's in DC. Comet Ping Pong. Is there a pizza shop in Fallout 3? Because that's where the ghoul adrenochrome's at.
There absolutely is a pizza shop. Yeah, I think I remember a pizza sign somewhere. That sounds like something that would be there.
Man,
it is. Oh, dude, it is.
Todd's in the club, guys. Oh my god, we're blowing the lid off this whole.
Cole and Tony's, dude. It is Cole and Tony's Pizzeria, unmarked location at Point Lookout. That's the adrenochrome farm, buddy. It's not even on the map.
Point Lookout's not in DC though, is it?
It's in like Northern Virginia, I think.
Yeah.
It's swampy.
It's close to DC, but not quite.
So the children's blood. It doesn't need to be downtown.
True.
The regeneration of ghouls can make for some pretty unique scenarios. Their physiology is kind of different than a human. An example is Vault 63. There is Hugo Stoltz is this guy. He is a ghoul himself. Yep. And he has a bunch of other ghouls with him. And what he does is he sets up a weather vane and he gets them all to be struck by lightning. Yeah.
I see it. I see what it's done to him. I'm looking at a picture of him. He's 76.
The altered physiology allows them to contain the energy of the lightning trapping within their bodies. And this is really cool. It changed them on a fundamental level, allowing them to perceive the world as pulses and wavelengths. And it even restored Stoltz's eyesight. But some other people went mad. They couldn't handle the waves of the universe.
I mean, I just want to say we all perceive the world with wavelengths. Light is a wave. So like that's how we all see. And hear for that matter. But
yeah, I guess maybe a more literal like actual
pulses. I don't know what pulse is. I'm not a science guy. I don't know what pulse is.
Boop.
Oh shit, I am perceiving that.
Audio braille
universe. Audio braille. No.
They're immune to radiation and disease for the most part.
Except for feral ghoul-itis. The one disease that they also come to.
That's the big but is they always risk going feral.
It's kind of like rabies, like more than like radiation poisoning.
Yeah, it affects you turn into Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And like how I mentioned, enough radiation turns you into a glowing one. Something interesting about...
Can you be, and you might not know the answer to this, there might not be an answer to this, can you be a sane glowing one? Like
yes, Jacob Wright, the guy who went on the rocket.
Right, we talked about it,
yeah.
It's interesting how glowing ghouls experience radiation. They don't experience it in the same way. They experience it as warmth.
Oh, it doesn't fucking kill them for one. That's pretty different.
Yeah, but as warmth. So if they're in a really radiated area, like a pit of a nuclear fallout bomb, they would feel really warm and cozy. And then whenever they go into a place with lower radiation, they feel chilly. And some joke that they might get frostbite from just leaving radiation sites. So.
Okay. Or they need a toque.
Yeah. A little radiation toque. Yeah. It's just filled with
little mitts.
Rocks.
Yeah.
So they're also immune to most common diseases. So that's a pretty big positive too. I guess if you were getting all diseased up, you could ghoul yourself and get out of it.
Yeah. Fallout 2020, none of them got COVID.
No. Yeah. The vaccine turned us all to ghouls.
Yeah. They stormed the Capitol, but they didn't get COVID.
Nope.
Fallout January 6th. I don't know. The game's just not for me.
It's funny you say
they would never take place outside of America, and that was the next best option was January 6th.
Yeah. Funny you say that because they can't be affected by physical diseases. They can be affected by diseases of the mind.
Oh, okay.
Mob mentality,
Facebook,
or zombie get the big sad or whatever. Yeah. So this, I touched on this before, but a really big disconnect between the show and the game is the ghouls in the show rely on a drug to keep them from going feral. That's their way of like if someone's acting crazy, you better get some drugs in them.
Yeah. I mean that's a good writing device. It's like the ticking clock. Right? Yeah. It adds stakes to his character in the show, who is only referred to as the Ghoul, as far as I know. I don't remember his character's name pre-ghoulification.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, we think it's rad. We think it's rad way or Rad-X. But in the games, it says they have no need for medicine. They don't need Rad-X. They don't need Rad-Away. And they usually use it as like payment instead of caps. They'll just give away their meds. But in the game, show game disconnect. So
the show, he's named Cooper Howard.
Cooper?
Oh, yes, that's it. Yeah, they call it Coop. That's true.
Coop. Yeah. Speaking of... no, that's not a good one at all. Food and,
all right.
Food and water. Yeah, I'll just give up on that. They still need to eat and drink. The loss of smell allows them to eat food that humans would consider pretty nasty. Like, let's say you had something at the back of your fridge starting to mold up or something.
Yeah. If you had to choke down a lobster, a poor person's food.
Exactly.
You're not tricking me, Jeff Bezos. I believe that the Hollywood elite have tricked us all into thinking that lobster is high scale food when they don't actually eat it. You know what I mean? They know that it's peasant food, and they've tricked the rich peasants into thinking that it's rich food.
Yep.
Right, that's the actual divide between the rich. It's like within the in group, there's still separation. It's the rich people who are still naive enough to eat lobsters.
Well, they're not actually rich in the eyes of billionaires. They're just rich in the eyes of like they're upper middle class or lower upper class. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like,
when you're 1,000 times richer than the president, obviously he's still eating lobster.
Exactly. Like, Mitch McConnell's eating a lobster like a fucking idiot, like the ghoul that he is.
The ghouls would have to put a lot of garlic in their garlic butter to get any taste out of that. But they probably would eat their lobsters. They also eat each other. This is a joke from the game, or maybe the show, Ass Jerky. It says the Ghouls Ass Jerky. So the ghoul might be from the show.
What says the Ghouls Ass Jerky?
Is one of the notable things that they called human meat.
Oh, yeah. That's almost a reference to a real cannibalism scenario that like the rugby team that crashed in Argentina, they did like tan corpse meat mostly from the ass because it's like fatty and it's a big muscle even on like a lean person. And they're all rugby players, so you know the ass jerky was fucking fire on that.
Oh, it was
they'll never admit to it.
No, yeah, they were donked up for sure.
Yeah.
Eating ass in the scrum, hell yeah.
But yeah, like your ass and leg is like a great part of a human body.
It's apparently the largest muscle in the human body.
The glute?
Yeah, gluteus maximus would make sense.
It centers you, man.
The ass does center me, Peter. Thank you for saying that.
Well, it powers your legs and holds up the rest of your torso.
Yeah. It's strength of will that holds me up. It keeps me going.
Oh yeah, of course.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so their mutated physiologies does have drawbacks too. Recreational drugs. Any drug takes a double dose to hit the same if you're a ghoul. So
20 milligrams of weed.
That's why they're bogarting the methadone.
Yeah.
So like canonically, it's probably because they regenerate so quickly. They probably metabolize the substance twice as fast. But it's never clearly mentioned, but we can guess. All we know is it takes a double dose.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Lore Boys canon, it's 6 TP.
Yep. We're going to finish off with 4 ghouls who didn't need food or water for a very long time.
Gouldy. There's one.
Mahatma
Gouldy. Thank you. I couldn't remember his first name.
Sleeping with his 13-year-old ghoul cousins.
Oh, she's 13 for 200 years.
Yeah.
No, let's not get into this now. No pedagools, dude. No pedagools. So we start off. These will be references for people who might have known them in the game. Coffin Willie. He was buried for several months in 2241.
Is that coffin like like a casket, or coffin like he's got a cough? Okay,
like a casket. Like a casket.
Jamie
crossed my arms.
Yeah, Jamie did the cross arms, like he's pantomiming a casket.
Yeah.
He's doing the Viking funeral thing,
or just miming a casket, I guess.
Yeah,
like a guy in a casket. If you mime a casket, you'd have to do the edges, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I'm stuck. You're doing the wall. Like a mime. It's the same as the regular mime bit. How do we know that any mime isn't doing I'm trapped in a coffin when they're doing the wall thing?
Because they never did the Kill Bill 1-inch punch to try and get out.
Yeah,
that's how you get out.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, or the Ryan Reynolds calling on his cell phone because he was trapped in a casket in that one movie, right?
Oh yeah, that was I never watched that one.
I never saw that.
Never heard of
Bill. Yeah, there's one movie. The entire movie is shot. It's Ryan Reynolds in a casket buried underground, and he's just on a cell phone, and he's trying to like
CSI like that.
It's called Coffin Willie, actually.
Oh, okay.
Weird that came up like that.
Yeah. There's a guy named Woody. It might be what you remembered, Pete, because you said something about a mummy earlier. He was exhibited as a mummy for weeks while in a state of deep sleep in the same year. So I think in game you could just like open a mummy, and he's like a ghoul, and he's, oh man, thanks for letting me out of there. That took forever.
Hey, you know what? Thank you for letting me out of there. You got a friend in me, pal.
I never found him. He's in Fallout 2. He is from Gecko.
Nice. We got Billy Peabody, who survived the Great War trapped inside of a refrigerator, surviving for 210 years.
Is that the kid?
I think it is the kid, yeah.
It's the kid that you rescue in 4, right?
Yes.
Well, you rescue a kid that's trapped in a refrigerator in 4 anyway.
That would make sense. 210 years in there.
It's a long time.
And then there's the ghoul, who survived being repeatedly buried in a chained coffin for up to a year at a time. We don't know why they're able to survive, because all the others need to eat and drink, but they think it's connected to a form of hibernation. And all 4 of these ghouls still got to eat once they got out. But they think they can just like slow down everything with their increased nervous system.
Wake up, get some ass jerky, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I know when I wake up, the first thing I think of is ass jerky.
Some muddy water and some ass jerky. Yeah. Well, with that, I think it is time for us to go back into our own ghoul hibernation. But that's been our ghoul episode. Check out the Fallout games. Check out the Fallout show. They're all very good and fun. If you want to see me, you can find me on twitch.tv/loreboyjames. We've been doing a lot, did like 20 hours of streaming in the last week. I've been really into Dark Souls. So if you want to see that, come on in.
If you're just listening to this on Wednesday when this episode comes out, you just missed him starting Sense Fortress for the first time. Can you imagine experiencing Dark Souls blind like Jamie is in 2024? It's
unbelievable.
Insane. It's insane that he's dodged it for this long.
It's something exciting to watch. Envy. I envy it.
Absolutely. I told him we were talking on Saturday when we were hanging out. Okay, Mr. Mike Punch over there.
Sorry,
relax.
I kicked it.
I was talking with Jamie about this, but like Pete and I have talked a lot about how Dark Souls 3 is my favorite Dark Souls game, but watching him play Dark Souls 1, I had the same reaction that I had when we were talking about Fallout New Vegas versus Fallout 3 earlier. I was like, man, I might like Dark Souls 1 more just for the nostalgia. Just like watching him play it, I'm like, man, this is such a good fucking game.
The like, 4 directional dodges always gets me. It just feels so bad now. After you can't
I'm
do.
Sure. I'm sure the gameplay is rough by comparison.
Is it 4 directional dodge? That's why I always dodge right into their hips and like catch
you have to turn like your north kind of thing and then dodge to get the forward side dodge essentially.
You have to unlock.
Mm-hmm.
That's good tech, actually. Okay. Well, I played for like 9 hours on Sunday. I played for like 4 hours on Thursday. I played for 4 hours on Tuesday.
On Friday too.
Played on Friday. Yeah, I've been like streaming a whole bunch. So go to twitch.tv LoreboyJames. It's like been a big fun stream, and you can watch me suffer.
But think about it. If you missed Sense Fortress for the first time yesterday, you will get to see Anne Orlando and those cocksucker archers for the first time tomorrow.
Oh, good, yeah. Man. I don't even know
That's
about those.
True. That's so true, dude. It's all good. It's all bangers, dude.
I got that Anne Orlando key.
Crystal Caves. Like, can you imagine when he gets to the Crystal Caves for the first fucking time? Like, it's so exciting.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to.
It's so exciting.
Come by. It's a lot of fun.
I'm not ruining the stream. It's gonna be so good.
No, that's all I'm gonna say. But it's gonna be like there's nothing but hits in Dark Souls 1. Like there's nothing but it's all good.
It's a good time. I spent like 4 hours in Blighttown, but it's been going a lot faster now that I got out of Blighttown. But anyways, come check out the stream, Lord Boy James.
Lord Boys James.
Well, don't do it. You know, Peter fucked it up. Peter couldn't find me because of you the other day.
Lord Boys James, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Peter couldn't find him in person because Peter was just walking around on the street yelling Lord Boys James.
I don't know why you do this.
He won't answer me.
He wants to sabotage my side hustle fun, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't want you to get too big a streamer because then you'll leave the podcast behind. The big money is in Twitch streaming, I'm pretty sure. Sources tell me that you can make a lot of money, I guess.
I don't know.
Ninja's a cajillionaire.
I appreciate everyone who's donated so far in any case. But anyways, that's me. You can find me there. What about you guys?
Lord Boys Podcast on Instagram. Keep it glued to the Instagram. Thank you for all the follows, all the likes, everything's doing well there. I love it. I've been thinking about getting verification, trying that out for a month just for the hell of it. Once I have a functional PC, of course. And huge shout out, thank you to all the patrons and people who listen to the ads for funding my new PC. It feels free when you pay for it with the show. It's a really cool feeling. So thank you, everybody. I'll get modern games.
When you enjoy your job, it doesn't feel like work, right?
Yeah.
What?
But when you enjoy your job, it doesn't feel like work.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So thanks so much for everyone who continues to support the show. You guys really, 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 really mean the world to us. Holy moly. You never stop with your love and support of the show. The only thing that keeps us going is the people who show up in the Discord. If you can't afford to spend, just show up and say hi. It really is awesome to interact with you guys and talk to you people and see the great memes that you guys post and see you guys request the stuff that we already wanted to talk about, like Fallout. Is always a good time. Hey, Smooth Skin, what are you doing? Not subscribing to the Lore Boys on YouTube? So smash that like button, I guess. I don't know.
What's wrong, Smooth Skin? Ain't you never seen a podcaster before? You're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, honestly, if we did video, that would be the reaction is, oh my fucking Lord.
Absolutely.
If you want to support the show, you can leave us a like or review on whatever service you're engaging with us on right now. Leave a comment. If there's comments, if we can find your comment, we'll reply to it. Or if you want to support the show financially, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/theloreboys. We do offer some bonus content. When I say some bonus content, I mean dozens and dozens of hours of extra episodes, which don't focus on the lore of media as much as it focuses on the lore of us.
It's the
And
vlog style stuff people have requested.
if you want to hear about why I bullied Pete this weekend, it's on this week's bonus content. So that's the only place you can find it. Check us out, patreon.com/theloreboys if you're interested. Of course, if you don't trust Patreon, we do have Loreboys Prime. We are in desperate need, guys. When we started this show, when we started Loreboys Prime to support this show, I had no idea how hard radioactive materials were to get. I need your guys' help in breaking onto military bases, to nuclear plants, to wherever you can get your hands on radioactive material, because we need it. We want to live forever, to keep doing this show forever, Smooth Skin.
Yeah.
So we need you guys to commit whatever felony you need to get us the radioactive material that we need and send it our way so we can ghoulify ourselves. We're going to start with Peter because he's the most expendable for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Then probably upgrade to Jamie, not because he's more expendable than me, but because with my lead hog, I am sort of resistant to radiation naturally. So I did call it a cod piece earlier. I was kind of burying the lead. I did dip my dick and balls into molten lead. Okay, so now I am actually pretty impervious to radiation all around. So I need your guys' help in getting me enough radiation material to overcome my leaden hog.
I'm
We had a good thing
unleaded
with Iran.
for her pleasure.
Yeah. You're unleaded by government decree in the 1980s because people were trying to get to raving lunatics.
And you're leaded for her pleasure.
Plots. Yeah, exactly.
It's got ribs on there.
Lead ribs on it.
And I think that would constitute a Lore Boys.
Lore Boys.
Out.
Out.